you are supposed to be respectful. But in democracy, it doesn't normally work like that. Most senior officials take criticism from parliamentarians as a normal part of their work. So it's not taken very seriously.
Bhairaja Pandey sir, welcome to the Gorkha Spirit.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
So how do you see the parliamentary committees, that discussion, especially MP and the police chief?
Yes, I think they have made too much out of it. The parliamentary committee person, the person who was questioning the IGP, seemed to be a bit aggressive. But normally these people, these investigation people investigating in the parliamentary committees tend to be like that. It is all over the world the same thing. But in Nepal there is certain hierarchy, it seems, that if there is a IGP sitting in front of you, you are supposed to be respectful. But in democracy, it doesn't normally work like that. Most senior officials take criticism from parliamentarians as a normal part of their work. So it's not taken very seriously. But for some reason in Nepal, there seems to be an ego problem. Senior people seem to expect to be treated with great respect, which is probably more cultural than as practiced in democratic societies.
So it should be taken as a normal incident, or
it should be normal because they do get out of hand. In all, if you look at the workings of the British Parliament and the US House, there also the exchanges are quite rough. People can accuse others of misrepresenting. You will see that in American system also. You will see the defense minister being asked very rough questions, by the parliamentarians, almost implying that they are lying or misrepresenting. So this, and also we have seen it all around the world during Tony Blair. Tony Blair was accused of misrepresenting his involvement in Iraq affair together with the United States. It was considered that Tony Blair misled the nation and went along with Americans who claimed that Iraq had developed weapons of mass destruction, which was not true at all. So people questioned Tony Blair, saying, why did you go and assist Americans in a war that was not even based on facts? But he did. But Tony Blair tried to say that he had done everything in good intention and he should not be blamed. But others said, no, we don't care about your intention. You dragged the country in a war which was based on false grounds. Saddam Hussein did not have weapons of mass destruction, and many people have lost their lives, including the Iraqis and also the British and American soldiers. So in these situations, the questioning gets very tough. Even in case of United States, President Nixon was questioned extensively on his Watergate matters, and it was this questioning that led to his resignation. So it does get tough, and it is normal. But for some reason, our IGP seems to have felt that he had overplayed his hand, maybe slightly. And also I understand that the parliamentarian who was questioning him has a pretty checkered past, in the sense that he does seem to get out of line a little bit. But it is in democracy, it's normal. Both sides need to calm down, cool down the system now.
So the question raised against IGP, is that normal?
the question, this parliamentarian was saying that we have received a report on corruption done by you. So he is saying that as long as you remain IGP, how can we investigate this corruption? If you get suspended or if you remove yourself from your job, then the investigation can proceed, which in many cases happens to be true, because if a judge, if there is a sitting judge and then he has a conflict of interest in the case, then the judge normally disqualifies himself. So what I think the parliamentarian was proposing was, sir, why don't you get yourself out of the position for a while until the investigation is complete, and then you can take your job back. The IGP seems to be a very highly qualified person, with very high integrity, and he seemed to have taken exception to that proposal. And also the most important, interesting part is that the IGP in return threatened him, threatened the questioner, the parliamentarian. That need not have been done, because he said, if you pursue this, I can also open your file or something like that. That was uncalled for. But maybe when people lose their temper, they say things that should not be said. But I think both people have gone overboard, but this is nothing to make national news about or make headlines. It's normal, it's a normal exchange in which people lose their temper, and there's nothing unusual about it.
Parliamentarian asked questions to the IGP, and IGP also
Yes,
raised the
IGP
question.
also threatened.
Pointed the questions, and he left his chair.
Yes,
So-
and that is an unnecessary. I mean,
How should they deal that event actually?
normally, if I was IGP, I would not get disturbed at all by what the parliamentarian. The two are, there is no need to take offense. If a question, people are entitled to ask questions. It is IGP's responsibility to answer, and IGP need not lose his temper. In his all coolness, he could have said, Mr. Parliamentarian, if you think that I have got, show me proof, and let's proceed. If you don't have proof, then get proof and call me again. I will come. And if there is sufficient evidence, if you think you have sufficient evidence, I'll leave my post for a while until you finish your investigation. There's nothing serious in this. It's a normal course of event. But this exchange with the parliamentarian overdid it, and IGP probably overreacted, both.
The president, that parliamentarian, that Khagendra Sunar, in the past he is a social activist and NGO official as well. So IGP knew lots of information about him. So he pointed against him as well. So how do you see that?
I think that was unnecessary from the IGP. IGP could simply have said, please do an investigation. You cannot accuse me on the basis of anonymous accusation. Prove to me, please do your homework, do your job. If you find proof of corruption, then please ask me. Then I will come back again. You can ask me. But on the basis of anonymous accusation, you cannot accuse me. He could have said that. It's a normal conversation. In a conversation, we do not raise our voices. We have without raising one's voice, without losing temper, without showing any abruptness, there has to be a dialogue, a simple dialogue, saying each person's point. The parliamentarian could have said, have you heard my? And IGP said, I have understood you and this is my proposal. Please confirm your facts and then come back to me and we will discuss.
After this event, because the parliamentarian is the government MP, and after then we heard there is the division between the police One is Nepal government police, Nepal police, and another is Balen police. Have you heard this term because you travel all around the world? So when this situation comes,
The government police and the Balian police.
yeah,
The government police are the parliamentarians.
Nepal police.
Nepal police are the
There are two types of police in Nepal. It is said
Ah.
one is Nepal police and another is Balen police, because there is tussle between this organization.
Oh, that is, Balian has a separate set of police, you think? Beyond the official police? That's very strange. I have not heard about it, but it's interesting. If Balian has his own, some prime ministers do that. They keep their own people because they trust them more than the others.
Because when the Nepal police arrested somebody, then the IGP doesn't know about that incident.
Oh,
He-
so he bypassed the IGP
uh,
and he did his own arrest. The prime minister used his own police to arrest. That is very unfortunate because that will undermine the police force, and IGP would normally get upset. If I was IGP, I would call the prime minister and say, Prime Minister, do you have faith in me or not? Do you want me to do my job or not? If you don't think I'm doing my job, you find someone else. But as long as I am here, you cannot go and do arrest yourself. That's what he should tell the Prime Minister.
Do you think the tussle between the government and the Nepal police officers will be just like they will dissolve the problem or is increase? What do you think?
Normally, what should happen is, in a normally functioning country, the Prime Minister should have full faith in his police chief. If he does not like someone, the Prime Minister can change him, bring him someone whom he trusts. At the moment, the country is passing through a phase where the Prime Minister needs to get his own people whom he trusts. Maybe the problem is, maybe he doesn't trust the existing officials who have come from previous government. Maybe they rose through the ranks and he wants his own people. But if there is a dichotomy, if the Prime Minister is arresting someone and the police is arresting without police knowledge, then obviously there is not enough faith. So the security, it's a problem if the Prime Minister does not believe his own chief of police. So he needs to correct that. The Prime Minister is allowed to do that. He can do it. He can remove the police chief and put someone whom he trusts. Then he should go through, but he cannot have his own person go and arrest someone over the IGP. Everything must go through an existing institution.
Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Thank you very much.